All right, I will call to order the Temecula City Council meeting of September 10th, 2024. We will have our invocation done by our city manager, and I will do the flag salute. So would you all please stand?
Would you please bow your head with me? Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we give you thanks for this day. We give you thanks for the privilege of living and working in the city of Temecula. And Lord, I pray for wisdom and discernment over this city council. I pray for protection over the city staff, and especially, Lord, today, I pray for protection of our men and women on the police and fire front lines that are battling fires all around us in Southern California. Lord, just protect them, and we pray for good outcomes with respect to these tragedies around us. And Lord, bless this meeting, guide it fruitfully. We believe that the city of Temecula remains a blessed city, and we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, would you please join me in pledging to the flag? Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, can I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Alexander?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Kalfas?
Here.
Councilmember Schwank?
Here.
And Mayor Stewart?
Here. So now we have a couple of presentations. One is a presentation of recognition, a certificate of recognition to Amir Attar upon his retirement.
Yes, and Mr. Mayor, as you make your way down to the podium, I'll go ahead and read the certificate of recognition for Engineering Manager Amir Attar. The City of Temecula congratulates Mr. Attar for his retirement after 25 years of dedicated service in the Public Works Department. Amir started working for the City of Temecula in 1999 as a senior engineer, became a principal engineer by 2002, a principal civil engineer in 2017, and engineering manager in 2021. He has displayed exceptional leadership, expertise, and passion that have significantly shaped the success of numerous projects within the Public Works Department. Among his many accomplishments, his pivotal role in the French Valley Parkway project stands out as the largest project in Temecula's history, which required extensive collaboration with multiple agencies. He has also served as the driving force on other projects that have enhanced the city's infrastructure and quality of life, which include his work on the Butterfield Stage Road Phase 3 project, the library parking lot, the Winchester Road North Corridor Beautification Project, the low-flow crossing, and the citywide pavement management system. It is not too much to say that Amir has been instrumental to the Public Works Department and the City of Temecula as a playful and respected mentor and manager. The City of Temecula congratulates Amir Attar on his retirement and wishes him continued success in all his future endeavors. Congratulations, Amir.
Go ahead and say what you're going to say, Amir.
Okay, be patient with me. I have a lot of people to thank, actually. If you told me when I was a teenager, came here to go to school, came to this country, that I'll be standing before you today with this recognition, I probably would have told you, you probably spent some time at Woodstock or something. I came to this country a long time ago as a teenager. I hardly knew any English. And I went to school here. I went to San Diego State eventually. And I really had no intention of staying here. You know, I came from Saudi Arabia. It's a great country. I had a large family, supportive family. And I just wanted to come to school and go back. And I actually did. And I went back and worked for 5 years. And then I followed my heart. You know, I came back. When I was going to San Diego State, I met my future wife, Judy. We've been, we'll be, we'll be celebrating 40 years next week. And she gave me some, great kids. I have two of them here today. My daughter, Amira, the master yogi, and Sarah, she's the artist and the freelance photographer. Not to mention, she's a two-time Olympian, too. My son couldn't be here. He's in Nashville, Tennessee, going to Vanderbilt. He just got his medical doctor degree last May. And he is now in residency for oral surgery, so he could not be here today, but I'm sure he's going to be watching either tonight or whenever he has time. His residency program is very rigorous. I don't want to forget my mother-in-law, Marian. We actually, last weekend, we celebrated her 90th birthday. And she has a lot to do with why I'm here, actually. So, anyway, I just want to thank a few people. I want to give you two numbers to remember. From incorporation until fiscal year 1998-99, the city spent about $85 million on CIP projects. Now, for 25 years after that, from 99 until the end of 23-24, which is just last July, the city spent almost $700 million on CIP project. And I'm proud to be part of a team that did all these things. And actually, Public Works get a lot of accolades about finishing projects, but it's really not just us. It's everybody that work for the city of Temecula and even the residents of Temecula. So it really starts with the resident. We do the quality of life master plan. We do workshops to ask people, what do you want? What do you want your community to be? And they give us that feedback. And then it comes to the city council. The city council give us our marching order. They give it to Aaron and the city manager's office, Aaron, Kevin, Luke, and then they give us our marching orders. And we have to get it done. But we can't get it done alone. We do it with the help of all the other departments. Isaac here, with the help with the recruitment, getting the right people so we can do all these projects. And then Hessling. Does anybody have any argument that we have the best IT department anywhere you can find? All their support in just giving us the tools that so we can do our job. And lately we've been working with them on projects, like when we built the MRC, to make sure the facility is equipped with what the community wants so it can operate, the way it needs to operate. And of course, the city clerk, people think Erica Ramirez just sent half-flag staff notices, She does. Erica and Randy are with us in every single project, from the day we notices it, to bid it, to construct it, to accept it. They're with us every step of the way. And they help us with all the agenda reports that we have to do in order, to bring it to the council meetings. And Peter, City Attorney's Office, RWG, one of the best firms you probably can ever find anywhere, with all the fine attorneys, that have Peter. I work with Paula, we work with Candice, work with Bob Sicone, Tilden Kim, many, many great people, in the firm. And they help us mitigate through all the acquisitions, projects, litigation, and anything you can think of. So, it's been a pleasure, working with all these people. Community development, Matt and staff of community development, they help us with the CEQA. They help us, with the permits through when we have a building like this, we have to run it through the review process. So everybody's involved. And of course, Ron, with Public Works, the director before him. And I actually have to thank one person who actually made it today, the guy who brought me here. And that is Bill Hughes, the former director in the city of Temecula. I worked with him in Vista in the 90s. When he came here, he gave me a call. And he said, are you interested in working here? Because we did the kind of same projects that Temecula is going to do in the 2000s. We did the same one in Vista. So I applied, and then I got the job here. I also have to thank Ron Parks, who was the first mayor of Temecula. A lot of people know him with that, but he was the deputy director of Public Works. And he was in the interview panel back in '99 when I applied for a job at Temecula. So he had some part, to do that. And I have to thank Ron Park for something else. As an engineer, he was a fellow engineer. And in the old days, before the tech revolution, the saying was, the only person that has less personality than an engineer is an accountant. So engineers were known like they don't have any personality. Well, Ron Parks dispelled that myth. He was the town Santa Claus. He's a civil engineer, town Santa Claus. Can you have a bigger personality than that? I really doubt it. So Jennifer, finance, money lady, she always worked her magic to find us the money to do the projects that we need to do. Hey, Mom, Jennifer, we need a little bit more money for this project. We have change orders, we have this. Jennifer and her, great staff always find a way to fund all these projects, and we work closely in the budget year after year. And then, Erica and her staff, we do a lot of projects with TCSD, with the parks, and we always work with them to come up with a facility that they love to operate. And so we go through that whole process with them. Same thing with the Chief Crater. Right now we're working on renovating and expanding 2 fire stations. And we work closely with the staff. So as you see, it's not just Public Works that we do all these projects. It's everybody in the city, starting with the residents, city council, and then all the city staff. I'll close with this. When you work for Temecula, you hear people saying, we do things the Temecula way. And if you ask 10 people, what does that mean? You get 10 different answers. Nobody, yeah, and but I don't know what exactly it is. I read a quote not too long ago that really put it in perspective for me, and it's attributed to an anonymous, so I'll read it for you. It says, in life, you will realize there's a role for everyone you meet. Some will test you, some will use you, some will love you, and some will teach you. But the ones who are really important are the ones who bring out the best in you. And that really made it click for me. We have a culture in Temecula where we bring the best out of each other. When you work in this environment, everybody kind of demand that you bring the best out of you. And the result is the beautiful community that we have in Temecula. I was talking to Aaron yesterday, and he said his MO in life is to leave the place in a better place than he came into it. And that's actually my MO too. I always, when I go to anywhere, I want to leave it in a better place than I came into it. And with the help of everybody, I think we've achieved that. So I leave Temecula in a better place than I came into it, and I'll add this too. And I leave Temecula a better person because I worked here with all these wonderful people. So thank you, and I really appreciate the recognition.
Well, congratulations, Amir.
Thank you so much.
It's always an amazing sight to hear an employee talk about where they're employed like you did. So that was incredible. So great job.
Thank you.
Did our council want to say anything? Okay.
All right, Amir, thank you so much for all that you've done. I remember our first meeting in my office. We sat there for quite a while, and you just boasted about your family and told me all about your past. And it was just really incredible to get to know you and what you bring here to the city. So I'm just very grateful. I've gotten to see you over the years, be able to contribute so much. And I know that the city couldn't be what it is if you didn't have your hand in part of that. So I just thank you for all you've done, and I'm excited to see what you're going to be doing in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Amir. I think I could listen to you speak all day. That was pretty, that was awesome. You definitely have one of my favorite smiles in Temecula, too, and it'll be absolutely missed. Your last thing that you said is about the Temecula way, about bringing out the best in people. I think that defines you. You know, walking into the room earlier when you're in there and we're all saying hi to you and congratulating you. You're the one that brings out the best in people. People just light up around you. That's because who you are. So I think you are literally the Temecula way. You will be missed. I don't know how we will replace you, but we will try. I hope you enjoy your cruise and enjoy coaching soccer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amir.
Yeah, Amir, there's part of me that wonders, is it us? Are you leaving because it's us? Is it something we did? You know, your speech coupled with the amount of folks that are behind you speak to who you are, not just as a Temecula employee, but as a person. And I've got to know you over the years. I've enjoyed some of the trips we've taken, especially the last French Valley Parkway, you know, that trip out there, and to see some of these projects come to life. Much like many people before you, you left a significant imprint on our community. You've made it better. And I'm happy to say that you said that you're leaving here a better person as well, because I think that's so very important. So I appreciate you, Amir, and your family and everyone that came tonight. We obviously couldn't, you couldn't be here without them, right? Like, so it's so important to always recognize our family in our lives, and that's wonderful. So I'm going to miss you, Amir.
Thank you. Thank you
Take care
so
and
much.
congratulations.
Thank you.
City manager.
Amir. It's so great to see your family here too. And, you know, Amir Attar has one of the biggest hearts you will ever find. And the Mayor Pro Tem said it well. You have an infectious smile. You brought it into City Hall for 25 years. I'm so proud of you, and I'm proud of what the CIP division, what the Public Works Department has done over nearly 3 decades. And you mentioned the numbers, and they're staggering. I can attest to that because I've been with you watching this occur, you know, over the last 25 years. The city doesn't look the same if those investments aren't made in infrastructure at that time of incredible growth. There was a lot of pressure. There was a lot of demand to sort of deliver on these projects, and it's why those numbers are so huge. And Amir, you're an incredible civil engineer, but you're an incredible human being, and I wish you so much happiness and good health in the next chapter of your life, and with your wife and your kids and your family. And thank you on behalf of the city of Temecula for giving us all those good years and good time. I'm really proud of you, and you are going to be missed, so thank you.
Thank you. Okay, can I say one more thing? That staff here, the CIP people that I work with every day, they're the one that actually doing the work. I always tell them, you know, you guys put out the music. I'm just the conductor, you know. That is so true. You know, they do all the work, you know. So.
Awesome. Well, we do have multiple certificates for you, RCTC, City of Temecula, and Storm Ready. But as a retiree of the City of Temecula, we have this really cool thing. So if you want to open that up and... So if we could have the family come up first, and then we can get some photos with Amir, and then the city council also, city council come down too. And then we'll get Public Works. Let's get the family first, though. All right, can we get the rest of Public Works that wants to be in the picture with Amir?
Mr. Mayor, is it okay if we extend that to all city employees?
Yeah,
Come
do
on
that.
up.
Yes.
Those at the dais, too.
Go around. Yes, hold on, hold on. Yeah, yeah, Paula. Paula, Bob, come on. Bob, come on, let's go. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
What sport?
The 800 marathon. It's a whole story. I'll tell you sometime.
I want to hear it. All right, we are going to go to the next presentation, which is for the Temecula Little League 8U Blue All-Star Team.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, they unfortunately were unable to get together tonight, so we're going to go ahead and mail them their certificate and ensure that they are properly recognized.
Which they also had like a, was it an undefeated season or very close to it, and they won their whole thing, and we kind of missed them when we did the whole other baseball teams.
Sure.
2 weeks ago. So anyways, and then we'll off to National Weather Service for Emergency Management for Storm Ready City presentation by Mr. Alfred.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, everyone attending. My name is Alex Tardy. I'm a meteorologist with NOAA, National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, National Weather Service. We serve all of Southern California. We know that weather is important, even lack of weather, which means drought. But when we do have weather like heat waves and wind, we're seeing the destruction that the fires are doing. The floods that we had in January 2024, they happened in downtown San Diego. They could have happened in downtown Temecula. So part of what we do through NOAA is we work with emergency management, work with the communities to educate, provide outreach, to allow people to know what they can do to prepare for storms and other natural hazards. So this is what we're presenting tonight. I've been working with the City of Temecula, emergency management, and we're revealing the Storm Ready recognition for the City of Temecula, effective immediately. Not every community achieves this. It's a proactive effort, so emergency management can just sit back and wait for the storms, or they can do something about it before it arrives. The number one cause of fatalities in the United States, that's natural disaster, is heat. And we know what heat is like in Temecula and Southern California. So it's important to take it serious, especially when it comes to floods, wildfires, and other natural hazards that the weather will present, and climate effects as well. And this sign is the official storm-ready sign. Nice, huh? And this can go where you choose for the city. It's something to show off to your community, to your visitors, to your residents of Temecula, that you are doing something proactively with weather and climate. So something that can show the citizens that you're not just being reactive, you're being proactive. You want to say a couple words?
I just wanted to say thank you to the National Weather Service for this recognition for the city of Temecula, and then also to the staff and the departments that we worked with over the last 3.5 years in order for emergency management to continue to grow and develop the plans that we've developed and be able to have the things that we do that support our community. So thank you for the recognition, and thank you for the opportunity to be the city's emergency manager.
Thank you, guys. Awesome. All right, we have one board and commission report by Community Services and Mr. Kingsburg.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, City Council, staff, attendees tonight. Pleased to give you an update on our commission. You can see our personnel from left to right. We have Ernie Castro, Commissioner Ernie Castro, Vice Chair Dr. Jan Hawks, myself as the chair, and then Commissioner Gary Oddie and Commissioner Kathy Sizemore. All 5 commissioners were in attendance last night, and we did meet, as he says here, September 9th. So first thing that we got an update on last night was the aquatics summer program and volunteer recognition for several folks in that program. The presentation was given by Community Service Supervisor Mary Welton, who was in her first year in that position. She did a great job. A little update on a few of those things. Certainly a discussion of the 3 pools that are being used. Certainly the Community Recreation Center, I should say the Ron Parks Community Recreation Center. The Margarita Recreation Center, which is was new for this summer, and then also joint use with Chaparral High. And as you can see the numbers there for the lessons that were provided over the summer, over 4,600 and over 15,000 people were using the pools for public swim. It's a very comprehensive program, as you might imagine. Summer, as was just mentioned, has been hot most of the summer. And so 120 staff members total across the board. Another important piece is there are 502 swim lesson scholarships that were offered in the various programs due to partnerships and grants. Also last night, there was a volunteer recognition for the junior lifeguards, and again, these are students ages 10 to 16. They provided over 900 volunteer hours this summer, and also the Swim Buddies program, assisting in adaptive swim, and the Swim Buddies provided 640 volunteer hours. So again, a lot of hands on deck to make our aquatics program successful. Moving on, we then received a report from Community Services and Recreation by Cassandra Hargett, who's Community Services Supervisor. You can see in our slides from left to right, we had over 5,000 participants in August. At classes and camps, there are 357 various classes and camps offered in the month of August. Our library door count was high, end of summer and beginning of the school year, well over 20,000 people in and out of the library. And then I also wanted to highlight the Adult Basketball League. As a former player myself in that league, I went over and checked the league out, and I'm pleased to say it seems to be thriving. There are 2 divisions on Tuesday and Thursday night, 10-plus teams in each division, and I wanted to give kudos to Community Services Assistant Matt Dobbins, who is administrating and running that league, doing a great job. People are having a great experience in using that facility at the CRC. And then we received a report from Mike Morey, Multimedia Coordinator, on Community Outreach and Cultural Arts Update for August. You can see the numbers, over 137,000 connections through Facebook, Instagram, and email blasts. The Temecula Valley Museum had over 2,000 patrons. This was an 18% increase over August 2023. We also have the Ralph Love Plein Air Competition is in process. That will conclude next week on Friday night with an open house and an awards night on Friday, 9/20. Human Services total impact was over 3,000 for August. Again, this is from the Summer Food Service Program in Camp Soar at the beginning of the month, which ended August 9th, and then all the senior and inclusive services, workforce development programs, etc. And then finally, as far as recapping the meeting, we approved our action minutes from August 12th by a vote of 3-0 with Commissioners Castro and Sizemore abstaining. And then in the Directors and Commissioners report, it was discussed the need behind canceling certain events such as Art Night last Friday and Saturday's Preparedness Fair due to the extreme weather. And then the Commissioners report, there was a plug for long-range planning, down the line, something to consider, maybe a second gymnasium somewhere in the city. There seems to be increased resident demand, and these extreme climate events seem to be increasing and making it difficult to do things outside at certain months of the year. This is a busy week for community services. We have the 9/11 Remembrance tomorrow night. We have the Art Fest and Museum Culture Day on Saturday. We, of course, are hoping for better weather. It seems to be on the way. That was a promise as of tonight. And so we'll see. And our next meeting is Monday, Monday, October 14th. Thank you.
All right, so now we are going to have a public safety report by our city manager.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. Chief Crater could not be here this evening. He is active in working the airport fire up in the Trabuco Hills area, so our thoughts and prayers are with him and his entire team. I'll try to pinch hit for him in his receive and file report. So on the operations side of the house, you can see there 857 calls broken down for the month of August, and years to date, calls year to date, nearly 7,000 calls. On the prevention side, you can see plan check reviews, about 483. Construction inspections still are heavy at 572. Special event permits, public inquiries, and then, of course, the annual state mandated inspections, which our team does an amazing job of, 558 for the month of August. On the draining side and emergency management, you heard from our EM manager, Michael Alford, earlier this evening. Continues to do an amazing job shepherding us, guiding us, and you can see there some of the program highlights. We talked about the weather plan, cybersecurity, and the TCC and emergency management. They did participate in National Night Out right here in Old Town. Very good event, and bringing the community together. You can see the volunteers down below. We're continuing to add to our volunteer count and training that goes along with that. There they are with the equipment and their CERT trailer. So really great work. On behalf of the City of Temecula, thank you, Michael, and we wish Chief Crater all the best in battling the blaze. So that concludes my report this evening.
All right, thank you. All right, so now we're going to shake it up a little bit. Instead of taking public comments first, we're going to do council reports first. And I'm going to start off, and I have 2 slides. The first slide is where we have been with our affordable housing inventory over the last 34 years. So before incorporation, there were 95 units built by the county. And then from 1996 to 2000, we added another 180. And then from 2001 to 2005, another 106. And 2006 to 2010, we added another 70 units. And then from 2011 to 2015, we added 67 more units. And since I've been on council, we added 263 units with another 121 units under construction right now that's going to be leased out probably in the next 6 months or so. So we've got approximately 902 units that are almost ready to roll, the 121. But we also have another affordable housing development that's going to go on in Uptown Jefferson, so over there by the new, what we're hoping to be the new sports park right on Jefferson, and we're hoping that's going to be between 80 and 100 units. So we have been doing a lot with the affordable housing inventory here in the city of Temecula, despite what some people want to believe. This is the actual the facts in front of you. And these are not just located in one location either. These are located across the entire city. So could we bring the other slide? There we go. So you'll notice there is a concentration in Old Town, but the concentration in Old Town is there for a reason, because there are a lot of amenities that are close by for these affordable units to be able to utilize, such as the Children's Museum, the History Museum, the Senior Center, the theater, the Civic Center here, the Boys and Girls Club, the Temecula Community Theater, the parks, restaurants, shops, and one of the few transit hubs in the city of Temecula is right there in Old Town. So that's why it was strategic. Plus, that was all created there too because of the redevelopment dollars that we were allowed to keep here in our city and utilize for our city. And so that's why we were able to bring affordable housing, especially there. But you can see down in South Temecula, we have 2 affordable units. You get up to North Temecula, there's 4 more affordable units. So we have a wide variety across the city as far as the placement of it. And the city has invested $57 million, which is computes to $63,000 per unit. And I don't know if you've been following the news at all, but LA spends, or San Francisco spent $1 million a unit for their affordable housing units. So we've done really good. We've been a good steward with our money. We've been a good steward of what we've been charged to do. We have been communicating with everybody who wants to talk to us. We do not ignore anybody. And to say otherwise is totally unfactual. And so that's the real story coming from the dais here instead of coming from the other direction. So I would like to turn it over to Council Member Alexander now.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
I get 2.
I did have 2.
All right. Let's do the first slide if we can, or the first item that we talked about. I'm going to have 3 this evening. Oh, yeah. If we can turn on, please, the first one. Wonderful. So this Friday, I was honored to be invited as a guest of Congressman Darrell Issa to Friday's House Judiciary Committee field hearing hosted by the city of Santee near the Mexican border. I was joined by State Senator Minority Leader Brian Jones and Assemblywoman Kate Sanchez. We heard testimony from the Riverside County DA Mike Hestron and the Riverside County Under Sheriff Don Sharp, Santee Mayor John Franklin, and others. If you can play the video, please, of Darrell Issa speaking.
That every day deals with people who get past the first border, and that number continues to grow. This hearing has the purpose to highlight the unique challenges we face in San Diego and, as I said, Riverside communities as a result of the unprecedented border crisis which began in 2021 and today has displaced what would otherwise be openings in housing and jobs of more than 14 million Americans. Illegal immigration is something that is used lightly. We're not using it lightly. The fact is that there are, among the millions who have come here illegally, there are people legitimately seeking asylum. There are people who legitimately, more than 1 million a year, who have gone through the process to come to America legally. It is our goal to restore the rule of law and to, in fact, recognize that we can have immigration in our country, we can have prosperity for all, but we can only do so if we can control our borders. Today we will also become acutely aware further of the impact of crime, whether it's the growth of illicit drugs, including fentanyl, or the border crime now that goes back and forth, including the trade in human trafficking.
Thank you very much. So I found this to be a very interesting meeting. There was, as you can see in the first picture that I had shown, there was other delegates, other city council members that end up joining me as well, other people from our community that got to hear the testimony of individuals, not only on the law enforcement side, however, but mothers as well, and what we're dealing with. And I just wanted to share that with some of you. And first off, I'm coming to you this with information because I spoke to our sheriff, our chief here, and I had asked him, what are we seeing here in Temecula? And the biggest thing, to my understanding, what he explained to me was the dealing with fentanyl here in our city. And what we're dealing with and seeing south of us, we just need to be aware that can always come up to us as far, just a little north of San Diego. So some of the things that they had talked about is the fact that years ago, typically we would only see 2 individuals dying of a fentanyl-related death. And today we're at a rise of 1,291% of related death to fentanyl. In the South, they're seeing cartels coming up from Mexico. They used to see 4 out of 10 of the drugs had fentanyl, and now of the illegal drugs, and now typically we're seeing, and I'm glad kids are here listening to this, typically illegal drugs are at 7 out of 10 of the drugs carry some type of fentanyl in them. And people are dying immediately once they take this. The human trafficking and the sex trafficking are increasing, especially coming up on the I-15. There's overcrowding in hospitals down in the South as well. Resources are being taken up by illegal immigrants, is what I'm being told. 60% of fentanyl cases in 2022 have started in San Diego throughout the entire United States. 60% of the fentanyl came out of San Diego area. 70% of the pills on the streets, as we talked about, also contain fentanyl. And the increase of homelessness issues is decreasing the quality of life for San Diego and everybody else coming up further north. This information we learned will help us more effectively fight for the safety of our community and all innocent victims here in California, and specifically here in Temecula. I also was invited to visit the southern border here in the next couple months. So I hope to be coming back to this council and to our city to be able to give more information of what we're seeing and what I can learn to hopefully continue to work with law enforcement and staff to continue to better serve our residents. And I just want to, give a shout out to our officers here. They do a fantastic job. Our city, our staff, everything dealing with homelessness and the drug situation, the cartel, whatever that looks like, they are fully on top of it. And so again, I just want to applaud you, ladies and gentlemen, for all that you do. If you can put the next video on, please, I'd appreciate it. Homelessness. Let's talk about it, Temecula. Did you know that city staff, law enforcement, and SWAG make contact daily with people experiencing homelessness in Temecula to offer resources? Our resources are available to those willing to accept our help through our partnerships with nonprofit organizations. What can you do to help? How about reporting concerns on our city app, city website, or a non-emergency line, and let us reach out? We ask that you do not give money, food, or other items directly to people experiencing homelessness. Why? This enables individuals to continue to live outdoors. It deters them from accepting a housed and healthier lifestyle. Understand that giving directly can do more harm than good. Our Temecula Sheriff Captain sums it up candidly but honestly. Let's see what he has to say.
I want you to consider what that money is going to be used for. A majority of our transients are addicted to drugs and alcohol. They're going to use that money to support their habit. They're going to become a call for service. They're going to preoccupy your deputies with that call. Call may turn into a call for service with our firemen, with our paramedics, and ultimately tie up all of your first responders. So instead of giving them your spare change, I want you to be part of real change. I want you to donate to nonprofits to help solve the problem. Thank you.
Chief, I want to thank you for your insight and your time and help of putting that together. We have wonderful nonprofits here in the community, so I want to encourage you to use your hands and feet, meaning your time to volunteer, or whether it's your resources, instead of, again, giving it directly to the people on the streets. And again, we're talking more so the transients. There's a difference between the transients who are drug addicted and who are addicted to alcohol, and where other than the people who are homeless who actually want to make a difference with getting off the street for them and their family. So we want to be able to bring them to these resources in order to be able to help them rather than continue to pay their habit on a daily basis. My last thing that I wanted to bring up today is not always easy to talk about, but somebody has to do it. And I am the only female here on this dais. I would like to address this next couple minutes to Ms. Laurel Lamont and Ms. Melissa. You know, Ms. Laurel, we have known each other now for 4 years. I have seen you across this dais repeatedly every Tuesday. And to my understanding, you've been here for approximately 7 to 8 years, somewhere around there, asking for the same thing. I took time with you and Melissa about 2 years ago, and we sat down at the grind, and I got to listen to the both of you and your needs over the years and at that time. Unfortunately, over the last 4 years, I have not seen or heard change coming from you, other than the same wants over and over. You were given the opportunity last year to have an apartment, and you denied it. Nobody is evicting you from a house. Your contract is completed. Yes, I'm talking to you. Can we respond? No. It's my time now. We've tried to give you help. We've tried to help you with your budgeting. We've helped giving you resources, myself directly, and you have shunned your nose every single time. You know, I lived in India for over a year, and I've actually seen true poverty and witnessed it. And usually when people want something or need something bad enough, whatever they're given, normally they're grateful for it. Unfortunately, every single time you've been offered something, you're not. Your behavior is completely ungrateful towards myself, every council member that has been up here, towards staff, towards nonprofits in this community that have tried to help you for years. All you want is a handout, and it doesn't seem like you actually want to work for it. And that's for the city to give you a home to own. So my question is what about every other person that wants a home? You want to be able to have mirrors or medicine cabinets in your house. You know, some people are just grateful for having a home. We had a social worker come up here several months ago. She came out of her seat all the way just to help you out, and I watched you roll your eyes and snuff her off. Ungratefulness. Miss Laurel Lamont, what you are asking for is called socialism, and your behavior mocks that of someone who feels entitled. And I'm tired of it, and everybody at this dais is as well. Your behavior is unprofessional. You are way out of order as you have sexually exposed yourself to this council on numerous occasions. There you go. If I worked together with you, I would have pressed sexual harassment charges against you. As you have provoked councilmen to take you out on a date with the objective of receiving housing, derogatory comments, slurs, jokes, unwanted touching of yourself in order to try to get a home, unwanted sexual propositioning, leering, and rude gestures, exactly what you're doing right now. You know, Miss Laurel Lamont, my heart breaks for you. I have prayed for you, and I pray that finally you get out of the bondage that you're in. I know that you are a smart woman, yet you lack wisdom and friends who are truly telling you that they do, showing you that they love you. I will always be here for you. However, I will ask that you come with an open heart in order to receive what your true needs are, and you will be willing to get the help you are in need of in order for you and your son to thrive. Miss Melissa, you know, you've come up here several times and you say that Jessica loves Jesus and babies because each one of us have our thing that we love. If that's the worst thing that comes out of my mouth, well, praise God for that. My question is how are you helping your friend? Sometimes things just need to be said in truth, and you seem to just flame the fire for your friend to come up here and just not look very professional. I can tell you if I had a friend like you, I don't think I'd want that person in my life. I hope that you can help each other, make each other better individuals when you come to this dais to look more professional and coming here with more respect for these chambers and the individuals and the residents that live here. I will be here no matter what, but I'm not going to continue to look at the lewd behavior and the disgusting taste of words that you bring to my chamber. Have a good day.
Do you have anything, Mayor Pro Tem? All right.
I have one slide here. As we know, there's been a few fires within our vicinity, and as we always see, we get inquiries and questions on one of the 7 Temecula Talk pages. So I just want to publicly put out there the Watch Duty app. It's a great app for local fires. You can see the location of them. You can see the acreage that they're at right now, how large the containment is, if there's any at all, if it's completely active. You can look at evacuation zone as well as wind direction. So the Watch Duty app, which is free and downloadable, you can download that and check out any fire near you in your vicinity. The closest one to us right now is the airport fire, just on the backside of Riverside County and where Orange County meet. And we've sent Temecula units there, but rest assured that we do have city coverage in our city with our police and fire that are willing and able and there to service you guys. So like City Manager said earlier, our thoughts are with those that are affected by these fires as well as our first responders. But make sure to check out that Watch Duty app for local fire. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Schwank.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple slides, so we can go and throw the first one up. So tomorrow, please join the city of Temecula tomorrow, September 11th, to remember those who gave their lives, serve and protect as we gather for an evening of reflection in honor of September 11th. The ceremony will be held, as usual, at the Temecula Duck Pond, and it starts at 6 p.m. It'll consist of dignitaries and first responders recalling the moments of this heartbreaking event, and well as pausing for a moment of silence for quiet individual reflection. So I hope you all can join us tomorrow at the Duck Pond for September 11th remembrance. And I do have another slide. So we have some commission openings. So if you're looking to get involved in the city of Temecula, please apply. We have multiple positions open. Looks like we have a total of 8 positions available. So you can see this recruitment's open until September 30th. So it's a few more weeks. And we certainly would love to see you get involved in your community, and this is one quite amazing way to give back. And one last thing, so a couple of things can be true at the same time. We can care about our community, right, and the residents that live in our community, and we can also have positions that some people disagree with, sometimes vehemently disagree with, right? When someone comes to the podium, they typically have an issue. That issue could be soccer fields, that issue could be affordable housing. It could be a singular issue. when we sit here, we deal with hundreds, if not thousands, of issues that are continuously brought forward. And sometimes we have to make extremely tough decisions, and many of them are unpopular decisions in that way. With respect to affordable housing, we've heard for quite a while now, like, you just need to do something. You need to do more. And what does that look like? And for our city, affordable housing, it costs money. And that money has to come from somewhere. So it isn't just as easy as saying, just do something, do more, just do affordable housing. You can do more. We built a website and we built a dashboard that I'd like to put up, and we've shown this before. So this is a dashboard that's available on the City of Temecula's website. It's interactive. You can click on these tabs, and it tells you very simply the city's investment, $57 million, 900 units. Much like Mayor Stu mentioned, some of the properties that the city's built since he's been here. I've been happy to be a part of Las Haciendas, Vine Creek, and Habitat Way 2. Those three projects are north of $18 million investment from the city. It's a significant investment. So when I hear things like, you're not doing anything, just do more, I want to point folks to this. Some of the solutions that we've heard are just really not possible. Requiring people to live in a certain area to be eligible for an affordable home is one of them. Inclusionary zoning, if we want to talk about inclusionary zoning, why didn't you include affordable housing in Harveston's specific plan? Well, that money has to come from somewhere. So it either has to come from the city to buy down the rents or buy down the purchase price of a home for someone, or it has to come from the developer, from the market rate units. So the market rate units, the cost of those, some of the these unintended consequences of something like inclusionary zoning, they drive up property values or property rates across the entire development because someone's paying for that affordable housing unit. We talked about, some of the strong towns models, and, not all towns are built the same. So, policies that might work in a streetcar suburb that was built in the 50s, they don't translate directly to the city of Temecula. These things aren't just a plug and play. And you can read something, you can listen to a podcast, you can maybe watch a documentary. That doesn't mean that in the real world that those things maybe play out like we all would expect them to. We also have to be mindful of the entire community. And that goes back to the very beginning of what I said, is when we sit up here, we have to think about the entire community. And making decisions on tough, challenging, difficult topics, when you have 110,000 people, it requires some leadership. And sometimes you have to do difficult things. Sometimes you have to say no. It certainly isn't anything that when we all decided to be up here that we wanted to have to deal with things like that. We all want to make our community better. We all are volunteering our time to be up here to do better by our community. Some of the lies and misinformation that we've heard from the past few years, the idea that somehow we're elites is just laughable. I'm not even going to dig into that. Maybe lies regarding meetings we have or haven't taken, positions we hold, why we didn't take a meeting with a group of people or why we did or why we didn't. Tons of misinformation regarding regulatory agreements, tons of misinformation and lies regarding what's being called as evictions, which they're not evictions. So it's really, at the end of the day, we've heard a ton of lies and misinformation. And we've sat here and we've taken it, and it's all political. Someone said of me, he will succumb to the pressure in the community if the community flexes its political muscle. So that's really where we're at here. And much like my colleagues have mentioned, you have every right to come up here and hammer us all day long. No one's saying you can't. We have every right to tell the story of the city, to tell the true story of what's happening, and not to be interrupted, and not to be, co-opted and having people talk over you and things like that. We have the ability to say what we want to say. The lies that have been said about staff, people that have reached out to help, and that is getting manipulated and flipped on folks that care deeply about people in our community. It's unsettling, and we've all sort of hit our limit. No, we've all hit our limit, and enough's enough. So, thank you.
All right, well, thank you. We are on to the public comment portion of the evening. So do we have any public comments?
We do, Mr. Mayor. We have 7 public comments on non-agendized items. The first speaker is Alex Kowski, to be followed by Melissa Bourbonnais.
All right, I'm not a public speaker, so bear with me. Good evening, everybody. I wanted to share with you the tremendous success of this past June's Family Fun Fest and our ambitious plans for the future. This past event was more than just a celebration. It was a pivotal community gathering that brought over 15,000 attendees in the heart of Southwest Riverside County. Highlights included the participation of notable city leaders from Marietta, Wildomar, and Lake Elsinore, who graciously enjoyed in our dunk tank. Unfortunately, Mayor Stu was in Japan at that time, so he couldn't attend. Everyone's involvement and the contributions from the city's officials throughout the valley helped us raise $3,000 for scholarships for our nonprofit Temecula Valley Community Events. These funds are dedicated to supporting students who choose to pursue the trades industry instead of college, assisting them financially and fostering the next generation of skilled workers and entrepreneurs through our nonprofit organization. The festival provided family-friendly and affordable entertainment that was warmly received by the community. This reception has fueled our motivation to expand. In 2025, we aim to transform what was a large gathering into an even grander affair, and also extending the festivities over 2 weekends. We've secured the website and currently in development of co-branding it as the Family Fun Fest Riverside County Fair to truly make this an inclusive environment for everyone in the Southwest Riverside County area. This year, we're incredibly blessed to be partnering with nonprofits such as Habitat for Humanity and MilVet, just to name a few, not just to increase the festival's scope, but also to directly benefit these organizations financially. Every ticket sold by our nonprofit partners contributes directly back to their causes, with 50% from every ticket sold going right back to them, truly making this a community event. Next year's enhancements will include an upgraded carnival company and more live entertainment throughout the 7 nights. We're excited to introduce a new incredibly expansive kid zone, our first ever Riverside County singing competition, and more. Additionally, our Read to Win program will continue to encourage educational engagement by rewarding students K through 12 with free carnival entry for achieving their reading goals, supporting the community efforts for education, as well as making affordable options for people to attend the carnival. As we look into 2025, we hope to see the city of Temecula join Lake Elsinore, Wildomar, and more in supporting this event. We believe that your involvement, especially through parks and recreation, future conversations with local school districts, and through our community leaders, this could be an instrumental in making the fair a landmark event in 2025 and beyond, right here in Southwest Riverside County. My ask is helping me with the conversations and connections through that could move the needle to our overall goals for this event in the retirement region at large. Thank you for considering this opportunity to deepen our community ties and create an event that celebrates and supports the vibrant tapestry of the Southwest Riverside County area. I look forward to any discussions that may help facilitate this potential partnership and ensure success of the future fairs in this region. I would personally like to thank Mayor Stewart and Councilmember Alexander for already taking the time to meet with me individually, and I hope not only to continue that dialogue, but also with the other council members as well, as staff helped us as well. I know you may or may not speak after this, but I hope I can schedule an individual meeting with all of you to understand our goals.
Thank you, sir. That is 3 minutes. We
Awesome.
appreciate it. Next speaker is Melissa Bourbonnais, to be followed by Laurel Lamont.
Hi, I'm Melissa Bourbonnais. I'm here with Upward Community. And I don't know where to start in my 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Mayor Stewart, I'm aware of that data. We've not ever denied that data. We haven't come up here and said you have 0 affordable housing units, ever. You're 902. For the record, anybody who's listening, there's 902. I took notes. If you were incorporated in 1996, I believe, or that's when it started?
89.
Okay, 89. So I would have to redo my math, which I can't do on the fly, but based on 1996, if that's where we start, between 1996 and 2024, that's 28 years, correct? So at 28 years, if we just started at that point, you've built 32 affordable housing units a year. 32. 32 a year. Is that everything Temecula can do? That's subjective. We would say no. We would say that you can establish a CLT, Councilmember Schwank, if you know what that is. There are things that you can do, steps that you can take that you haven't taken. We might be a lot of things, and in your view, unprofessional. We are not dishonest. We are not dishonest. You can go to Japan. You can see people in Japan on taxpayer dollars because the city footed the bill, not for your family, not for your friends, but for you to go to Japan. So is it government business, Ms. Alexander, for the city to send you to Japan when you have constituents here who are being evicted, and Laurel can bring the eviction notice if you want her to? You'll go to Japan in the name of city business, but you won't go to Warehouse, which is in your district? And you want to tell me that you guys are doing everything you can on behalf of constituents? Councilmember Alexander, the only reason you're even up there is because of the men and women before you who fought for your right to vote, for your right to be a police officer, for your right to go to school. Because 100+ years ago, you didn't have those rights. You wouldn't be sitting in that position. So professionalism is subjective. And the women and men before you that secured this right that you seem to take for granted, they weren't professional. Because if you say please and thank you, that's not progress. You don't get rights with that. Politicians don't extend us our rights. We the people do.
The next speaker is Laurel Lamont, to be followed by Lene Charlie Trejo.
It's not sexual harassment if I touch myself. Eight years. And I was never dishonest about Erica Russo or her outreach or what was said at that meeting. 8 years, when I came in here for the first time, I said, I don't qualify for affordable housing because I work full-time and I have one child. I work full-time and I raise a boy on my own. I did that. That is working. Every day, I do it without a mom, without a dad, without anybody else. I do it on my own. You ever accuse me of not working again, and we'll have harsher words to say. Yes, I offered every one of you to buy me a drink after city council. Every single one of you, because when you F me, you can at least buy me a drink. It's free speech. You don't like it. You don't like my tactics. You don't like my attire. That's okay. We built up to this mode. I have less than 30 days to find a place to live. You didn't offer me housing. Nobody offered me an apartment that I didn't fight for. I don't know where you get your misinformation, Jessica Alexander, but maybe you should reevaluate what truth means. Have any of you been inside warehouse at Creekside when you spend your money and you were good stewards of it? Do you know what it looks like? Do you? You can nod your head. The answer's no. You don't. You don't know what it looks like. You don't know what it looks like when you hand over $6 million to a developer and your only stipulation is throw in some apartments and lower the rent. You're not buying down the rent. These apartments are worth what they charge. Maybe instead of going to Japan, you walk across the street and you meet your affordable housing tenants. You come in the building. We are working full-time, and we are asking for attainable homeownership for your full-time working. Affordable housing isn't working. That has been the message. We need to do better than affordable housing.
The next speaker is Lene Turley Trejo, to be followed by Nicole Sherrill.
Hello. So I wanted to tell you that I was able to do a ride-along with our Metro team, with Deputy Muro, I don't know how you pronounce this, but about 3 Saturdays ago, and I was there from 7 p.m. to 2:30 in the morning, so till the bitter end, and it was an amazing experience, and I would challenge each of you, if you haven't done that, to do it. I've challenged my Planning Commission colleagues to do that, and I feel like I learned so much, and I appreciate Lieutenant Pearson setting that up, and I especially appreciate Sergeant Sandoval and Deputy Muro. They were amazing, and their attention to detail was truly commendable. And the reason I wanted to go is because I wanted to see what really happens after 10 o'clock, and especially after midnight. And so I'm very grateful for the alcohol ordinance of being able to close at midnight, which means that last call is 11:30. It's not at midnight, it's at 11:30. And as I was there that particular Saturday night, I saw what happens, specifically after midnight. It's not fun, it's not good. There's nothing good that's happening after midnight in Old Town. I will tell you, because I saw it. And so I'm grateful that we made that decision, that you all voted on that. And also, with the deputy, I was able to go around and see some homeless hotspots that I didn't know about, and that is a big concern of mine and has been. And I appreciated that video by Captain Durham, which I completely agree with as far as handing out money to our transients. And so that was also very educational for me to be able to see some of the homeless real problems that we have, because we do have some problems. And I think that's what one of the things I love about this city is that when something isn't working, we try to find something that will work. Because we know that not everything is working, but we're trying to make things work. And I think that is amazing. I also appreciate so much the police presence in Old Town. They are there. Wow. I mean, they are there. And also Fire and Code and what they do. And my time is almost up, and so I have to say this. So much that is right is done in our city, and that's why people continue to move here. And I want to thank our elected officials and staff and all the volunteers who help make it right, but it's up to us to keep it that way. Thank you.
The next speaker is Nicole Sherrill, to be followed by Jonathan Montanez.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Nicole Sherrill, and I am the founder and president of Hoofbeats for Hope, a newer nonprofit serving the Temecula Valley. Hoofbeats for Hope facilitates hope and learning through horses, and our program, the Stable Moments program, is specifically designed for foster and adopted children. Stable Moments is a trauma-informed program which matches one foster child with one mentor and one horse for 1 hour a week for 10 months. And the goal of the program is to help these children develop self-confidence as well as critical life skills to help them transition healthy into adulthood, hoping to help end the foster care cycle and crisis. We are also partnering with Michelle's Place and currently developing a program for cancer patients and their families. And I really just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself and Hoofbeats for Hope. We are honored to serve all of the deserving residents of Temecula and appreciate your consideration in the City of Temecula Community Services Funding Grant. Thank you.
The next speaker is Jonathan Montanez, to be followed by Hannon Rickard.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan Montanez. I am the organizer for TEDx Temecula. And today I actually just wanted to come up and share my excitement and my gratitude for you, Mayor Stu, and the rest of the council members, and of course, city staff, the amazing people here that help make the TEDx Temecula event happen, now going on our 13th year this September 28th. We have 8 speakers, amazing speakers that we've chosen here locally. They're all from California. 7 of them are from Temecula, Menifee, and alike. We're very, very thrilled to have them on the stage. We have our event annually, thanks again to the City of Temecula at the Community Theater right across the way here. I was there yesterday doing a walkthrough with Bill. I was there again today doing a live video, encouraging people to come and enjoy in this event where we serve lunch and we get to listen to these amazing speakers tell their life stories and give tools and ideas to our audience that will change the lives of the people in our community and make a positive influence and a positive impact on our community. So my reason for being here today, and I appreciate the time in front of you all, is to really just express gratitude. And thank you so much for the unwavering support that you give to this organization. This is my first year organizing this event. I took over from Jim McLaughlin, who has done a fantastic job over the past 12 years and now has handed off to me. A lot of weight, humongous shoes. I'm having a really difficult time walking in them, but I promise I will grow into them, and I appreciate all the support that you folks have given me and the community here. So really, that's all I wanted to do. I encourage you to share with your friends and your family and your neighbors that this event is here, that it is coming up just in a few short weeks. Encourage people to attend, and I look forward to hopefully seeing some of you there at the event. So thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
The next speaker is Hannon Rickard, to be followed by the last speaker, Cassia Garay.
Good evening. I just want to just encourage you all to stay plugged in to God. You know, that's can't stress that enough. You know, this nation is a great nation. We got people trying to come in here, and no one's really trying to leave yet, anyway. The reason is because we got to go back. We can just look back on our roots, founding fathers, and understand that they had a personal relationship with God. It's not enough just to confess that you believe in God, you know, but we need to understand that that His love for you is tremendous, and He is longing for us to love Him with all of our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and that requires relationship. That requires time, consecration, holiness. We got to abstain from all those things that the little foxes that spoil the vines. You know, those little things that steal our heart and our focus, and set our heart on God and strive. It's a fight, but we need to do that. And there's great promises, great rewards for doing so. There's first, the greatest promise of all is, or the reward is revelation of God. You got to have a revelation of God to know that He's real. And with that comes power, knowledge, understanding, wisdom, counsel, might, and healthy fear of God that we need to abstain from all evil. So anyway, I'm just laying it out here. You know, the shoe fits, put it on. but I just can't I can't stress it enough. I've been, from just my own experience, little that is, but I just see, I see it as lacking now in this day and age we're living in. It's a strong lack. It's now what's used to be considered good is now really bad, and what was considered bad is now good. Not to say we start off perfectly, obviously, we've come a long way in some sense, but we all need, especially you, the leaders, you all need to be the strongest individuals in walking with God, so you can have the might that you need from God to overcome every obstacle. And just know that every day, the big picture is God is preparing you for eternity. That's what it's all about. He won't allow you to be tested or tempted more than you're able to handle. But the point is, He's preparing you for eternity. Just keep your eyes on the prize and look at the whole picture. Remember that, and continually seek His face every moment He gives you. God bless you.
The last speaker under non-agendized items is Cassia Garay. Garay.
Wait, can you hear me? Okay. I'm not sure if I can ask questions, but I think one of you spoke about it. It was like the drug problem, the fentanyl problem. I just had a question. I'm not sure if it could be answered right now, but it was about if like there's anything being done to inform like younger kids about it, because I didn't go to middle school or like elementary school over here, but I was wondering if there's like DARE programs and stuff like that, because I think it is a bigger problem than we may realize, because like I went to Winco like a couple weekends ago, and I see this, like, he looked so little. He was this little boy, and he had 4 cans of whipped cream, and I was like, what are you doing? Okay, I was like, okay, we were watching him, and he's bent over, and he's, like, inhaling the gas from it. And it was, like, really heartbreaking to see, because I have, like, younger siblings. So I was just wondering if schools are providing that education on that. I know it's, like, a difficult topic, but I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you, Cassia. Council members, that was the last comment. I don't know if you want to give the last speaker direction.
If I can, or do it, okay. All right, well, thank you so much, first off, for actually listening. I know sometimes you guys come in and it's just getting that tag to get that extra credit and head out for some people, but maybe this was the right time for you guys to have heard this message. Maybe there's action even from yourselves or from your friends that you guys can be helping out other people. Definitely there's help in the schools for drugs. And if anything, what I'd like to do, please, staff, if you can do me a favor, if you can get her information for me, I'd love to be able to connect with you and maybe a couple other people on our off time, and kind of go from there, and we can discuss maybe how you guys can be bringing safer communities into your schools and to your friends, if that's okay with you guys. All right, is that okay, staff? All right, thank you.
All right, so now we're going to go to the consent calendar, which item number 1 is waive reading of title and text of all ordinances and resolutions included in this agenda. Number 2, approve action minutes of August 27th, 2024. Number 3, approve list of demands. Number 4, approve sponsorship agreement with Valley of the Mist Quilters Guild for the Old Town Temecula Outdoor Quilt Show at the request of subcommittees Kalfas and Stewart, which have never been to this quilt event. It's really pretty cool because they literally have them hanging all over Old Town Temecula. Number 5, approve sponsorship agreement with Inland Valley Business and Community Foundation, DBA TEDx for TEDx Temecula, at the request of Subcommittee Kalfas and Stewart. Number 6, approve sponsorship agreement with Temecula Valley, Bike Temecula Valley, Temecula Valley for Ride the Vines, Halloween Bike Ride, and Holiday Bike Ride. At the request of Kalfas and Stewart again. Number 7, approve temporary access permit with multiple agencies on city-owned properties within the Santa Margarita River corridor. Number 8, award construction contract with BWW and Company for the sidewalks citywide Inez Road, Rancho Highland Drive to Tierra Vista Road, PW 1728. Number 9, accept improvements and file notice of completion for American with Disabilities Act, ADA, Transition Plan Implementation, PW 1816. Number 10, accept improvements and file the notice of completion for Community Recreation Center renovations, Phase 1, PW 1907. And number 11, accept improvements and file notice of completion for dog park renovation at Mike Nagar Community Park, PW 2114. And I will accept a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All right, it's been motioned, seconded. Please vote. All right, and that looks like it'll pass 4-0. So I am going to adjourn the city council meeting in favor of the community services.
Thank you, Mayor Stewart. I'll now call Temecula Community Services District meeting to order. Madam City Clerk, please let the record reflect that we're all still here. Do we have any public comments on non-agenda items?
Mr. President, we have one comment by Hannon Rickard on non-agendized items. Mr. Rickard.
Welcome.
Back. So I just wanted to read Psalm 23. It's pretty popular. Many of you probably know it. I'm just going to quote it. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want." I better read it. Let's see here. The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now I just want to give about a minute or so of commentary on what we just read. This Psalm of David is just giving a picture that God is like a shepherd who's taking care of the sheep, and we are the sheep. Sheep are very docile. They have to be taken care of and protected. We're not made to be, firing guns at each other and stuff. Otherwise, we'd be made with bulletproof armor. That's just my thought there. But so we have to depend on the Lord's might, His protection. There's another proverb that says, "Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people." Or another one, 2 Chronicles 7:14, "If my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, I will hear from heaven, I will forgive their sin, and I will heal their land." The point is we need to rely on God, but we have to follow Him as He leads us, and He's always going to lead us in paths of righteousness. And notice it's for His name's sake. We're here for the glory of God. That's why we're here, is to glorify God. And I'm running out of time. And He says He restores my soul. That's why there's drug addictions and stuff like that in the city, and it's because people are not, their souls are thirstier and they need to be restored daily. Anyways, I'm sorry I ran out of time there, but yeah, God is good, and He loves you. Just love Him at all costs, even the cost of your cross. All right.
Mr. President, that concludes all comments.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Okay, we have, next is our consent calendar. We have 3 items. So item 12 is approve action minutes of August 27th, 2024. Item 13, approve sponsorship agreement with Temecula Valley Astronomers for the use of city facilities. Item 14, approve second amendment with Wild West Junk Removal LLC for dangerous and unhealthy encampment cleanup services. With that, I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve consent.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, let us vote. Okay, and that passes 4-0. Thank you, everyone. Director of Community Services, do we have a report this evening?
Yes, indeed. Just a few updates today. Okay, so first of all, we'd like to invite everybody to come out on Saturday, September 14th for our Cartoonapalooza, which features Art Fest. This is a really great time, and it's a great example of when we've kind of evolved events. This used to be our chalk art event out front, and it's involved to have this entire cosplay Cartoonapalooza component. We have a lot of young artists that come out. The cosplay is really impressive. It's just really great to see these young artists come out and be excited, and we invite everyone to come out and enjoy the art. And next slide. Then on Saturday, September 21st, we're having our 16th annual Temecula Valley College and Vocational Fair. This is the largest college and vocational fair in California, and I would wager in most of the western United States. It's hugely popular. We have universities and colleges from all over the country, as well as vocational and trade institutions, CTE institutions. The military is represented as well, and once again, we invite everyone to come out. It's free to the public at the Promenade Mall. We generate so much traffic with this event for the mall that historically this day has been the second highest day of sales at the mall, second only to Black Friday. And next slide. And then our last one, I just want to mention our Fit Fun Color Run on Sunday, September 22nd over at Ronald Reagan Sports Park. You can register online for this. You do have to pre-register as the event does fill up. 8 a.m. starts the adult and teen run for ages 12 plus. Then at 8:10 we kick off a family fun run for all ages. And at 9:45 we have a separate kids obstacle course for kids ages 4 to 12 years. Again, lots of fun. And go ahead and check it out. And if you have any questions, you can find all the information on our website. That concludes my report.
Great, thank you very much. General Manager, anything this evening? Nothing further, Mr. President. Directors, anything? All right, I'll adjourn back to a council meeting.
And I'll reconvene the council meeting to say, do we have any items for future agenda? All right, being none, do we have a city manager report?
Mr. Mayor, nothing further tonight.
And city attorney?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we did have a closed session tonight, and with respect to the one real property negotiations, the council approved the fair market value appraisals for the properties involved. 2, set the just compensation for the property interest. 3, authorize the staff to extend written offers to the owners of the properties. And 4, provided authority for staff to negotiate purchase and sale agreement for the acquisition of the property interest. And I will say that if there is a deal is finalized between the staff and the property owners, that document, the purchase and sale agreement, would come back to the council for consideration and approval at a public meeting. Other than that, no other items to report from closed session.
Thank you very much. With that being said, be safe out there. We are adjourned.